Welcome back, man. Episode 48 with BrickShots with Billy Antonio. The intro, again, it's going to get worked out. I know we took a whole week off, but I was sick and I'm a man, so I thought I was going to die. So, I was making my will and doing all that stuff. Antonio, good to have you back, man. Looks like you look like the guy. You remember the Everest College commercials where they're just yelling at you like, you're just sitting on your couch.
Yeah.
That's anyway, dude. Antonio, what's going on, man? How you doing? How's your shoulder?
It sucks, bro. Like having one arm is terrible. Like especially when it's my, I'm right-handed, so it's like, bro, I can't do nothing. I can't turn hard. I be hitting people. Like, bro, it's crazy too, cause like old people, I came home to get taken care of, but old people come see you and they have no sense of anything. Like, I done had my arm grabbed, smacked like 10 times, and they just like, oh, I'm sorry, and I'm like,
what are you gonna do, man?
What? And I'm just like, bro, I have on a whole cast. I don't, what I mean? People done told me I didn't even see that on you. Like, bro,
you think I'm just a robot, a cyborg?
Like, bro, like first I know the cast black, bro, but I'm not that black. Like, look, the cast same color as my tank top. Can you clearly not tell that this is a tank top? So I'm just, it's cool, man. Like I said, I can't lift my arm up yet. I had a lot of work done, bro. Like a 2-hour surgery turned into a 6-hour surgery. So,
jeez.
Prayers for forced retirement.
Yeah, we hope so. Or you could just have a hell of a drive to your right side now.
Bro, for real. Like, I was thinking, like, bro, what if my tendons just snap back and I can throw like 109 mile per hour fastball or
get that Henry
yards.
Rowan-Gardner fucking
yeah, bro,
Aroldis Chapman
70 yards.
Yeah, sign him up, dude. Go.
Yeah, I'm just in the league, bro. I know I could play for. I could have probably just suited up for the Niners, bro.
Yeah, no shit, dude. They need some help.
They had everybody out there.
Yeah, we're getting into that in just a hot second. Matt, how you doing, man? Everything good?
Doing all right. My Super Bowl MVP pick got blown out the window, but other than that, everything's all right.
Well, I got some stats for you that might make you happy a little bit.
Who'd you
pick? Christian McCaffrey. I didn't know he was going to play running back, wide receiver, and quarterback, but
you did. I also want to talk about that once we get into it, that 49ers offensive roster.
Absolutely. That's what we're going to get into. But let's start off with the refs, man. And this has never been, Tonio and I have made this clear from episode 1.
This is not a ref bashing show.
Bada bing.
I do want to bash the refs, but I can't for LeBron. But hey, we can't because that's not who we are.
So I got a perfect tie-in. We just gotta end it. We just gotta let the progression go. But
yeah,
is the officiating is bad. Let's say that, right?
Yeah.
All right. It's now. I think the problem I get into with people, and like I was telling Matt earlier in the pre-show, I had an argument on Twitter for 40 minutes with this guy about that it's not the ref's fault the Bengals lost the game. The officiating can be bad. And let me just
Aaron?
No, it's not. No.
Oh, okay.
Aaron was pretty okay he was pretty good about how the game played out. But we got to stop with this. Like, all we got to do is look at some stats and be like, oh, they could have just not had 2 interceptions. They couldn't, maybe if they didn't fumble the ball 3 times, everything would have been copacetic. Yeah. Like, it's not the ref's fault. The refs can have a bad game, but that doesn't change the outcome of the game. All that does is change momentum. I'll rise it up to that, to where it changes the momentum of the game. But again, you're a professional athlete. I expect you and the rest of the team and the rest of the coaches to adhere to where you're at situationally.
Yeah, because they could have just blocked Chris Jones. Like, you could have stopped, put a body on him.
I mean, exactly. Trent Williams. Carmen from Clemson was one of their first round draft picks. He wasn't hurt. He just couldn't fucking block anybody. That's Chris Jones has never had a postseason sack, and he's played in a lot of postseason games until this year, and he just got 2 this game. That's it.
Yep. So it's like, y'all probably could have just blocked, Trent Williams won't get angry at the end of the game, throw somebody down. Not Trent Williams, wrong game, wrong team.
See, we're getting to that next. Yeah,
the situation was right. You just said everything was right, but
yeah, bro, block, bro. First of all, since Aaron been ducking us, I've been praying on Ohio's downfall in every sport, especially football. So, it wasn't the ref's fault, and we don't even have to hinder on that. You can't blame the ref. You just gotta play better. But getting into the game, first of all, how undisciplined are you? Pat Mahomes' gimpy ankle would have got to the 41-yard line, still would have been like a 58-yard or a 61-yard field goal.
Yep,
bro, just like that. And I get it. That's a terrible way to lose the game. Terrible.
Yeah.
But you made the mistake. Like, the refs ain't make you go over there when he was 3 yards out of bounds and like, yep, I can't stop my momentum. Let me push on to him. So
I will. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Before we get to Matt's answer too, I just wanted to say, like, Joseph Asai took that in stride. Did the most professional. Hey, it's my fault. I shouldn't have done this. This is not how I wanted to play. This is because he could have took the coward's way out and been like, my momentum. What do you want us to do? Blah 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 blah. No, but he took it and he was like, it's my fault. It's my fault. I shouldn't have put my hand down. I shouldn't have pushed him more, because you could see all of that white field. Like, that's not the field anymore.
Exactly. So, how you feel about it, Matt?
I think that whole game, Big Joe was playing. He was playing a great game. He was one of their best defenders all game. He made one mistake. He didn't let the other team score 20 points on his own. If anything, he prevented them from scoring more, right? And then Joe Burrow throwing 2 interceptions doesn't help. Anytime there's a penalty at the end of the game like that, okay, look at the turnovers. You could have not did that play. Other players could have not did this. They couldn't have fumbled the ball. Throw the 2 picks. Joe almost threw 3 picks in that game. Like, it's not his fault that he made a penalty. Plenty of other penalties happened that game, and they're not blaming those penalties. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, I think if Joe Burrow checked down on that throw that he threw the pick on, hey, quick check down. You ain't got to get it all. You got the ball, and y'all tied. You driving down the field. Like, I know
they got some time. It's a tie game.
Yeah, I know. The goal is to win, but hey, man, this ain't Madden. You ain't finna 21 skunk nobody, bro. Like, as a quarterback, you gotta learn to take that check down. And I like I said, the 2 picks. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Joe Burrow, he still played a good game aside from the 2. He placed the ball like in some of the most perfect positions I've seen a quarterback put. Like, that shit when he hit Jamar Chase in the helmet, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
But then that touchdown that his tight end dropped, like, he squeezed that hole right in between 2 people. That perfectly high pointed touchdown pass to Higgins.
Yeah.
That joint looked good, bro. Like, he was making great throws, but like I said, he just going for it all gutsy, bro. Like I said, that joint is high risk, high reward, and when it's reward, you always happy about it, right?
Yep.
Always. Hey, he risky, but we got it. But then when it's not, and you throw the pick, then boom, we talk about the refs. That's when the blame started getting passed on. But Joe, check down. You don't throw that pick, like, check down, bro. Like,
So I also wanted to call out the play calling was just utterly horrible. The Bengals ran the ball 12 times. The Bengals ran the ball 16 times. Joe Mixon on 8 carries had 19 yards. So obviously you don't abandon the run game, but yeah, let's not have Mixon carrying the ball because they're just stopping him every time. But Samaj Perine had 5 carries for fucking 22 yards. That's 4.4 yards a carry. So maybe you just take Mixon out of the game. And again,
And
that's
let P. Ryan. Yeah.
Let Perine eat a little bit. I mean, it's to get to the Super Bowl. Why are we developing
Coddling feelings, bro?
It has to be. It's something strange that's happening to the league, and I don't know who to place the blame on. If it's a Patrick Mahomes, where your quarterback has to win you the game now, or if you look at San Francisco with Jimmy G, he only threw 6 passes in the NFC Championship game when they went to the Super Bowl. So it's like you don't need these quarterbacks throwing the ball. The score was 20-23, and both quarterbacks had more than 40 passes. It doesn't make any sense. Where's the run?
No run, and with 40 plus passes, you looking for at least 30 points on both sides, bro.
Yeah. Or a fucking absolute blowout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you need to throw those fucking passes. And it's just like, I don't know if Josh Allen is doing this new way of, because I've been crushing the Bills offense all year. Y'all have known that. And it's just like, why are we just utterly abandoning the run game? And even let's say it's Mixon, keep giving him the rock and see if he can break one. We've seen him break how many fucking runs throughout the whole season, throughout his whole career. Honestly, he's probably one of the best backs in the league. And we're just like, all right, well, we got Joe Burrow, so he's the best quarterback. He's better than Mahomes and all this other stuff. And it's like, maybe he is, but why are we let's get to the Super Bowl. Who gives a fuck about it at this point? You know?
Exactly, bro. I'll take an ugly win over no win. I'll take the most hideous win ever just to get there.
Yeah.
But speaking of Joe Burrow being better than Pat, I am so sick and tired of Matt talking about Pat, how he threw the ball, perfect footwork. Bro, hey, man, I'm sick of Matt and I'm sick of Nick Wright. Hey, bro, good. He got there again. He got to the Super Bowl again. I'm not taking his greatness from him. He is a great quarterback. But get off his nutsack, bro. Like, God, it's so bad. It's so terrible. Like, he didn't look spectacular. He didn't look spectacular in that game, because if he did, they would have won by 20.
Bingo.
No, you have exactly what I said in the group chat out of context. I said he was anomaly over one play. I didn't say over the whole game. We're like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah,
but so he threw that 25-yard on a rope over past an outstretched defender off his left foot, not his drive foot. He did that all with his arm and his left foot, his planting foot. How do you throw that with just your arm?
The only anomaly about him is that he's the voice for Kermit the Frog, and he's too young to be the real actor. That's the only anomaly that it is.
Kermit the Frog here. I fucking love Kermit the Frog.
Matt, it cool. One play. I'm not about to get hyped about one play. You did? I ain't finna get hyped. Hey, that's nice. We don't see Aaron Rodgers make some dumbass throws like that. We don't seen these throws before.
Danny Dimes also.
Yeah, Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes. Josh Allen.
You guys are just missing the circumstances of the throw.
If we talking pretty passes, Matt.
So while he threw it, there's a stretched defender at his leg. I don't know what you just said.
I said if we talking pretty passes, Joe had him in that game. We talking 1 to like 7, 8.
No, and I'm not talking. Joe was fully healthy in that game. What I'm saying is he did that throw on a rope with one foot with a defender on his bad ankle. Like, you can't just throw the ball that hard, that fast, that far. Like, there's no other quarterback who could do that. Is what I'm saying.
I'm willing to go.
That throw was extremely elite.
I'm willing to say if he wasn't doing TikTok dances with Jackson, ankle would be all right. So, you know.
Stop.
Either way,
it's like, because obviously Patrick Mahomes is great. I'm not saying like he's just this shitty quarterback, but like we got to look in the context of everything, because the Chiefs, we're acting like he's just literally the Chiefs. When Travis Kelce is, I don't know how he's doing it, but just getting absolutely wide open on a 3rd and 11 or a 3rd and 8. Just it's Travis Kelce.
Weird.
with
It's
nobody
weird,
within
bro.
5 yards.
Like, you know what? The Bengals could have used Vontez Burfict yesterday. Travis would have been out of that game.
Just
Straight.
eliminate them.
Yep. Hey, I would have put him in one play. You know what to do. Take him out.
Hey,
Either
let
way,
him catch this one, and then that's the last one, and then
murder him. But either way, let's talk about really quickly. Let's talk about the team that's gonna beat the Chiefs next or in 2 weeks by at least 12. The
At least
Philadelphia
12?
Eagles. At least 12.
Tonio, you got to stop with these spreads, dude. This is on film, man. You're acting like we're just.
Hey,
this doesn't go anywhere.
Hey, my national championship spread was perfect. I still have not received the payment, ladies and gentlemen, from either person.
You owe me so much money.
I don't. I win a lot of our bets. Probably like 96% of the bets.
Nah. I'd say 40. Hold on. What'd you say? 96? I'd say 69. Nice. Percent of your bets. How about that? It's still good.
I cook better than you.
You don't. No.
I look better than you.
I don't. Well, maybe. I'm bald, but I have acne, so it's it doesn't help. But you really believe that the Eagles are going to beat the Chiefs?
This is why. Let me get real. This is why. That defensive line versus San Francisco, pretty decent offensive line, looked crazy. And I don't know how people keep getting Ndamukong Suh, but if you notice, on the last 3 Super Bowl teams, Ndamukong Suh been on them defensive lines wreaking havoc. Like he was just playing for the Rams last year.
I was just about to say, he had more tackles than Fletcher Cox did in probably a third of the snaps.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Suh is an animal.
Let me just throw it out there, because Suh wasn't really doing shit in Detroit, huh, Matt? Or was he?
No, those were his best seasons. Were in Detroit.
Yeah, but is he winning chips in Detroit? That's what I'm asking.
No, because we were playing like the Buffalo Bills, all passing, no running.
Hey,
that's why.
But real talk, bro. Look at Suh's last 3 years. Tampa Bay, chip. Go to the Rams, chip. Now he's on the Eagles, chip. Hey, I'm just calling it, man. That's the anomaly we looking for. But no, all seriousness, the Bengals defensive line has nothing on this Philly front. Philly second best defense in the league, and as we've seen, go ahead.
The best thing about that, the Bengals are in Cancun, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm comparing the Bengals to who the Chiefs just played. So I'm talking about Philly, but I'm saying that the Bengals line defensive line is not as good as the Eagles.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So Eagles second defense in the league behind the 49ers. I just think that 2 weeks for a high ankle sprain still ain't enough time. He re-injured it. We saw that.
Yeah.
That running in the pocket is way more athletic defensive ends on that team. And like I said, man, Suh with the high motor, him and Jordan Davis side by side going against that, it's gonna be a problem for him. And then their secondary a little bit better than the Bengals. Big play Slay. I'm looking for him to have 1 pick or at least 2 breakups on the day.
Yeah, you don't have Eli Apple out there no more.
Yeah, Eli turned his comments off on Instagram because he was getting cooked.
His mom deleted her Twitter.
Dude, just that's something else. I want to get into that real fast. Like, dude, if you're gonna talk shit, like if you're gonna be a Joe Burrow, like, hey, the window's open as long as I'm in Cincinnati. Like, if you're gonna be a shit talker, like, you gotta eat some of the fucking shit when you fuck it up. Bro. Come on, man.
Yep. So, but yeah, big play Slay. He is what Eli Apple claimed to be on social media before he deleted his shit. Shout out to you, Eli Apple. We gonna mention you bitch.
Shout out.
But I just think that defense is gonna really have pat them not scrambling because Andy Reid is probably one of the greatest offensive minds that we've ever seen. But it's gonna get us some problems, especially with a not fully healthy Pat Mahomes. But then on the other side, that Chiefs defense is not as good as they looked against the Bengals.
No, the Chiefs played a great game against the Bengals.
Yeah, they did. They played a great game, but that's not them. That's not their MO. We've been talking about their defense for years being their Achilles heel. Like, I just think, you know, they really ain't upgraded that defense. Dogs barking.
No, I think Lorelai's up. You can keep going, Tony. I'm sorry.
They really ain't upgraded that defense much since we saw Tampa dismantle them 2 years ago. I um I think that the Eagles are going to continue what they were doing. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to run the ball well. We seen them lead the league in rushing. I think they took over leading the league in rushing this year. So we gonna see that, and then I don't think that um I don't think that the Chiefs have the cover guys to worry about um Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. What's the tight end name?
Dallas Goedert.
Yeah. I don't think that Kansas City have the coverage guys for them either. So if Philly activates that running game, which they will, I'm sure they will, their read option gets open. Miles Sanders and number 14, whoever he was, he had a game. They get going early. Yeah, they get going early. Jalen Hurts, I would like to see him run more. He didn't run a lot. I would like to see him run more. Because it was a lot of them plays where I'm like,
well, he didn't have to either.
No, he didn't. But it was a couple plays where he ran the read option and they did get plus yardage on it. But if he pulls that, it's probably like 20, 30 yard scamper. But I get it. You know, save yourself for this game. But this is the game that you're saving yourself for. So
yeah,
I like to see him pull that and get some touchdowns or something. So I got the Eagles plus 12. I ain't backing down off that. Actually, I'll go plus 10. I'll go plus 10.
Plus 10. That's still
so you did back down a little bit.
Yeah, just plus 10. What y'all think about it? Because I don't really want to go over the. And this is just me from the San Francisco game. Brock get hurt, game over. That's pretty much. They get a quarterback in there. He get hit. Next play, concussion. Now you got CMC playing quarterback. Like it's over with. We don't got to talk about that. We don't got to talk about that game in detail, but I do want to talk about the 49ers offense. Is that offense too stacked to where CMC and Debo really can't get the equal amount of touches that they need? Is that a problem?
No, I don't think it's a problem when they have a healthy quarterback because but in a one game they may not both be breaking out together, but it's every other game, every third game is either Kittle, Debo, CMC. They're all going off in one of those games if they have a quarterback.
Yeah, but how do you how do they steal a playbook or steal a page out of Andy Reid's playbook? Because we seen him make it work with probably one of the most high power offenses when it was Kareem Hunt, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill.
I don't think they have to take it out of Andy Reid though. I think they just have to take it back to the greatest show on turf.
Bingo.
That's what they have to do. Because Christian McCaffrey is the closest the NFL has seen since Marshall Faulk. Like passing, running, like he does it all. Literally better than he's the best pass catching running back in the league, and he could be the best just pure running back in the league. It's just how are you going to use him? How are you going to utilize him?
I get it. I think so. I was just wanting to ask that question. But
so I know you didn't want to go in detail about the game, but I'm gonna hit some stats just real quick. Jalen Hurts was 15 of 25 for 121 yards. Not the worst day you've ever seen. Like if you read that stat line, you think it's pretty bad, but that's not a bad stat line. The 49ers quarterbacks combined that's Josh Johnson, Brock Purdy, and CMC. So they were 11 for 17, which is, again, it looks better than Jalen's numbers if you're just looking at stats, for 97 yards. Brock could not throw the ball, even after they brought him back in, could not throw the ball further than 3 yards. You could see that his elbow or whatever he hurt, it's like this long name, some science name that I don't know. You could see like that was his throw. Like that's it. It's nothing, none of that. That's not happening. It's just like, oh fuck that. I'm in.
And it's
fucking
bad. It's bad because he out for 6 months already. Like, so it's bad.
No, not a good injury. But at the same time, that's what worries me about the Eagles playing the Chiefs, because they didn't play a great game. Yeah, they beat the fuck out of them, and it looks bad on the box score. But they lost 3 fumbles. Christian McCaffrey was still, after Brock Purdy got hurt, like he was still 15 for 84 yards. That's 5.6 yards a carry is what they were giving up. And I think Andy Reid can scheme some things to kind of at least get something similar to that effect. The return yards, San Francisco had so much more kickoff return yards. It was 107 yards off 3 kickoff returns. To Philadelphia's fucking 2 kickoff returns for 17 yards. And it's 1 for 29. And I just don't think Philly, if that's the game they're going to play and we're looking at it like they just blew out San Francisco, it's not what we're looking at. It's if you just keep diving in, Philly did not play a game either.
Who did? I mean,
Philly.
how many rushing yards did they put up?
Less than 200.
But how many?
So I don't have that stat exactly because I was looking at it to make my point, not anybody else's.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that they did. You add that offense in and them just cruising, because you gotta see what San Francisco was doing too. We're not just gonna make your point and then just leave it there. San Francisco turned the ball over on their 20-yard line and on their 40 or 30-yard line. How much offense you want me to get, Billy, if I ain't got but 10 yards to go to score?
No, you're absolutely right. But then, okay, so I'll raise you yards per carry. So not one person had more than 4 yards a carry. It was all 3.5, 3.5, 3.8, 3.4. Which again, that's good. I'm not saying that's bad.
4 yards. 4 of them.
No, I'm saying
4 yards.
I'm saying, is that gonna be the Chiefs? Let's say Patrick Mahomes gives you a 14-point lead. Are you still, as Nick Sirianni, are you gonna run the ball that many times? Because if you look at that running back, 14, 11, 11, 6, and 2. Gardner Minshew got out there, got 2 fucking carries.
Speaking of the run game, I believe the X factor in this game will be Pacheco, however you say his name, because Christian McCaffrey, he wasn't running especially hard. They were just bouncing off him, and he was just like, oh shit, I'm still running. Holy fuck. Like Pacheco, however you say his name, he runs hard and his feet are just moving, no matter what. Even if he's on the ground, his feet are still twitching. Like, that dude is going to grind out some yards, and if they're going to tackle like they tried tackling Christian McCaffrey, he's going to have a huge game. If they feed him, obviously, this is the NFL. Sometimes you think that, and he'll get like 3 carries in the Super Bowl. But
right, Matt, who do you got for the Super Bowl?
Chiefs plus 3.5.
Chiefs plus 3.5. Okay. Man, this pen's about to die. Hold on.
I also think for the Eagles, unless A.J. Brown has a big game, I think he's the only wide receiver that the Chiefs can't like cover, at least limit, at least put a man on they can match up well with. A.J. Brown is a freak. Obviously, if he gets going, like it'll probably be a long day for the Chiefs. But if they can somehow limit him, the Chiefs have a huge advantage there, I believe.
Okay. So, Matt, just real fast, I want to make sure are we doing real gambling terms by you think the Chiefs win by less than 3.5? Or are you saying they win by more than 3.5?
They win by more than 3.
Okay. Because I got the Chiefs, but I got them plus 8.
Both of y'all racist. Y'all just don't want to root for a black quarterback. I can.
Patrick Mahomes is black.
Nope.
Just because he's whitewashed doesn't mean he's not black. That's not fair. We got to stop doing this.
We're not in the same category.
It's a whole nother. It was a race delegation. You missed it. We traded Pat Mahomes. Y'all got.
Did I miss this one again? I missed the second one in a row. This is
This
is getting out of hand.
You need to check your emails.
Shit.
Was this at like a town hall in Nebraska? Did this happen?
Heck no.
No, it's probably in Jackson.
Exactly. Y'all
Bingo.
coming to Jackson? Y'all rolling to Jackson?
Apparently, so my best friend told me that it's Jackson isn't racist. It's the places around Jackson. So absolutely, I'll show up in Jackson.
Oh, so I tell you that, and you like, no, I ain't going. So a white guy tells you that, and you like, yeah, I go.
I was talking about you, motherfucker.
Oh yeah. It's the places around Jackson, man. It's the places around Jackson. Man, what's next? What are we talking about there, man?
So Matt, so I tell Tonio, right? Because I've been saying this. So I have the most racist story from Jackson. I'm not gonna say it on the show, but I was telling Tonio what exit I was on because I've never. It was like 421 or something, or 441, and he was like, "Oh, that's this city or whatever," and I'm like, "How the fuck? Like, how am I supposed to know that?" I just know Jackson was the area, very bad. I was like, all right, bam. Antonio, fucking 2 weeks ago was like, yeah, that wasn't Jackson. I'm like, okay, well, awesome.
That wasn't even Jackson, man. That wasn't even Jackson, man. I was watching Coach Prime. I was watching Coach Prime, bro, and there's some food spots that I gotta go to Jackson and check out. Like a couple burger joints, a couple diners that I just want to go in and eat, bro. Like, I really do. I'm a foodie. I mean, well, I'm good there, man.
Hey, Coach Prime is the new Guy Fieri, dude. He's just like, I had to go.
Yeah, this just turned drastically. Went from race to like, hey, there's some diners I want to check out.
I know Billy like food. I know, Matt, you eat meals too.
No, Matt's getting skinny. Look at him now, dude. He's too skinny now. He's too skinny to fuck with us.
Anyway,
no, not even close.
What's next on our agenda, Mr. Moderator?
All right, man. So let's talk some coordinator stuff. Bill O'Brien back to the Pats. Tonio, how you feeling?
Oh, that's me going to sleep because that's what our offense gonna do this year. Bro, he gonna make as stagnant as the offense was with those high-powered players in Alabama. He gonna come and do the same thing with us in the league, bro. We're gonna be boring.
Alabama's worst offensive year, in reference to talent that we've seen in a really long time. I don't want to hear any of that shit.
It was Bill O'Brien's fault.
You don't think that they're going to have a slight uptick from old Pencil Beard?
Oh, yeah. Matt Patricia was terrible.
So you should be happy that they could have hired Aaron, and you should be like,
Aaron who?
Let's go.
Aaron who?
Aaron with an E.
Aaron the no-show?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
man.
No-showed on the game. He would have no-showed. He'll no-show on the games, and then Bill will come.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he'll just be like, oh, yeah, I had to take a nap. What are we going to do? He's just losing, bro. Nah, realistically, I think it is going to be an uptick. Matt Patricia was terrible. We seen him and Mac Jones get into it a lot. But we see somebody that Mac Jones familiar with being brought back in. So,
do you think Mac Jones? Sorry to cut you off. I just got one more question. Do you think Mac Jones will keep his same like energy of that like I'm the quarterback, like let's fucking throw the fucking ball?
I don't think he would have to with Bill O'Brien. They know each other, so I feel like Bill gonna come in and be like, "Hey, we gonna run it like we did," and because Bill was there when Mac Jones was there, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think he was only there for a season, but yeah.
Bill gonna be like, "Hey, we're gonna do." Only thing I'm gonna be real with you, man. It don't start with Bill O'Brien. It's just is the other Bill still mad at Robert Kraft and gonna go get us a fucking
Need a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Go get us a lineman from what's the Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College in the first round.
Hey, just pick me up, Bill. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. Just go get Billy. Just go get Billy live from the show. Hey, we doing the show on draft day and Billy name get called. What the fuck?
Belichick walks in the garage as Bill's recording.
Yeah. It starts with him, bro.
What's your pass?
I know it's a lot of Bama fans. And shout out to my boy Butler that's happy that Bill O'Brien is gone though. So we'll see. I don't
think Bill's game translates well to college, man. I don't think he's bad either. Because I didn't hate him as a head coach for Houston.
Yeah, but
Just
his offense still wasn't very good in Houston.
Shout out to my boy Dre. Dre
another shout out.
he hates Bill O'Brien. He said Bill O'Brien can go to hell. So yeah, I don't
Dre?
know what, huh?
I just said,
I
damn,
mean,
Dre.
you know, he a diehard Texas fan, so he was like, yeah, Bill O'Brien put us
Those
through
don't
some of our
exist.
worst years.
He also
don't.
gave the best years.
Hey man.
Well, they've only been around 18 years, so.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Jesus.
Yeah. I just know I'm going off what I was told, bro, but we'll
That's fair.
see. So
All right, so from one offensive coordinator to another, we're gonna go. Byron Leftwich gets fired from Tampa Bay, and I like when he was getting those head coaching jobs. I don't know if y'all remember on the show when I was saying like I didn't think he should be getting these calls because he's not the play caller, and this year without Bruce Arians calling some plays, the offense did not look good. But then is it Brady's fault or is it Byron's fault? I don't know if he's looking at himself another dig.
I think at a certain point in the season, it becomes Brady's fault because Brady is the second oldest person to maybe the head coach on that team with the most football experience. Like that's his fault. Like Brady could just be like, Byron, this isn't working, and then obviously it didn't work all season.
So is it so you're saying it's more on Brady than it is Byron?
Yeah, because after so many weeks, you're like, all right, Brady's like, I see where you're going with this offense. It's not working. It's not going to work. I've been around for 25 seasons. I know what works and what works for me. So,
but Byron's been around just about the same fucking time.
But he played for like 6, and he's been like an offensive. He's been on coaching staffs for a while. But Brady, if he's the GOAT, he should know exactly what works for him, what scheme he wants to run, what works in what situations for him. It's not like he's a 4th or 5th year quarterback where it's like, hey, in these situations, you got to do this. What do you tell Brady? You can tell Brady, like, hey, you got to throw it here. No, Brady already knows what the fuck is going on.
That's true. Okay. What do you think, Tonio?
I'm doubling down with Matt. Matt the stash. It's definitely Tom Brady's fault. Tom and Brian sat down every week to go over game plans, to make sure that they both were on the same page. After week 6 of seeing that y'all sucked offensively, hey Tom, you got Tom, definitely the GOAT. So they definitely catering to whatever he. Hey man, we need to. So they definitely listening. I think Byron Leftwich was an easy scapegoat for Tom Brady's terrible season. Tom just didn't look good this year. I don't think
But he didn't have a terrible season. We're acting like he was just trash. He didn't play bad.
I mean,
he was for a while.
To his standards, though, it was kind of bad, bro. Like,
you can't give him the LeBron treatment, dude. You can't.
No,
it
and
can't
I'm not.
be,
Can I finish? Can I finish?
I don't want you to, but yeah, okay.
You're supposed to say yes.
Next subject.
I don't think Tom Brady fell off at all. With his age, arm still there, still throw a nice deep ball, ducked a couple of and made a couple minor mistakes, but I think that was just him being human, bro. What were you about to say, Matt? In that playoff game, in that game against the Cowboys, right? I think that was all about syncing and Tom trying to get the receivers to do what he was thinking, but they wasn't thinking the same pace. Like that pick he threw in the back of the end zone. If you go and look and break down the film, the wide receiver that he was throwing to or looking at just stopped. He was on his way over there. And after you don't go that way, you can't pull it if you Tom. Like Tom Brady's not dumb enough to just be like, let me airmail this in the end zone and just hope somebody catches it. If you go and look, the wide receiver, I'm sure, was running like an option crossing route. And the way he looked, like he was going to keep going across the field, which would have been wide open. But he didn't. He stopped. So it looked like a pick. It made Brady look like he had a terrible game. But in reality, you got to put together, hey, they was dropping the ball. Their offensive line was terrible. Terrible. You cannot, I don't care how good Brady is, how good he is to go. He's still 45 years old. You cannot have a 45-year-old getting smacked every play. Like,
Good point.
um, so yeah, it was definitely back to the original thing. I don't think Byron should have got fired though, because that same offense that I think he's been calling, because I think he was calling more than we know now since they let him go. They won a Super Bowl with it. And
Yeah.
then last year they came up just short. So yeah, but I think he should get some head coaching jobs. I don't think you go back to offensive coordinator.
Well, I don't think he
So
goes back to the league then.
before,
Wow.
so I want to talk about Kellen Moore after this, but so with the Byron thing, you don't think he'll go to an offensive coordinator job again? I think that's where he does land, just because not everybody's Phil Jackson either. They can't deal with like the egos. Like Phil, that was his best thing, right? Is dealing with the MJ ego, with the Kobe ego, and a Shaq thing. How he made that work, right? I think Byron, if he goes and proves himself without a GOAT quarterback, it's like Josh McDaniels. Like, it's easy to run that offense with the greatest of all time, and then to go to another place and run an offense with Derek Carr. No shot at Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr, but it's one thing to do it that way, but you got to prove you can do it another way also before, and then that's how I'm going to segue into Kellen Moore with, I think what he was doing with Dak is he was like putting Dak in all these positions to succeed, and he just didn't. So I think Kellen, when he goes to San Diego, he's going to have some fucking great moments with Herbert, and that's going to shoot him up to the best coaching jobs he can get. And I think Byron, he might have to go to, let's say, like New York, to the Jets and get them in the playoffs and like be like, oh yeah, no, I can fix XYZ. This quarterback, I got it. Don't worry about it.
I mean, we'll see.
I'm gonna add some of that. So the Chargers, they just had what's his name? Something Lombardi, but great grandson of Lombardi, right?
Yeah.
He used to be the Detroit's offense coordinator. Had Stafford playing like just a check down queen, just awful. Not how you use Stafford, not how you use big arm quarterbacks at all.
Yeah.
Same thing with Justin Herbert. Similar offense, just stale, boring, like, yeah, whatever. But then Staley would have him go for fourth down and be aggressive. But then after fourth down, they would just fall flat again and just be super mellow, conservative. He's a terrible offensive coordinator. So I'm going to use the same thing. So after Lombardi left Detroit, Stafford had some of his best seasons in Detroit.
Yeah.
Now it's Herbert's time to reap the benefits of post-Lombardi career.
I can see that. And again, let me go back to one more play with Kellen Moore. That quarterback draw 2 years ago in the playoffs against San Francisco, that was a great play call. That's going to be a hill I'll die on forever. That was a great play call if they got it down, if they used the clock better, if Dak did, and used the clock better to spike it to get that field goal to win them the fucking game. But he didn't. What a fucking play call. Number one, gutsy as fuck. That's just super gutsy. Because Dak had a fucking 22-yard scamper. And if he just went down at 15, that's still a 30, 35-yard field goal.
Yeah, I remember that play.
Yep. And that's just how it happened. So I'm going to raise you after the Byron Leftwich thing. I'm going to go to Eric Bieniemy, right? So there was a rumor that the Ravens reached out and wanted to see if he wanted to interview for the offensive coordinator position. And I think that would also, like a Byron, would give Eric like, hey, you don't have Tom Brady. You don't have now you don't have a Patrick Mahomes and an Andy Reid to kind of fall back with. So if he went to the Ravens, it would be like all right, so I'm about to run this type of offense. I can run whatever need be. Where John Fox with Tim Tebow failed as a head coach because he didn't want to change any of the schemes. He was like, this is stupid. I don't care that we're winning playoff games. It doesn't matter. I don't want Tebow, right? And I think that's where Eric or Byron can be like, oh, they can do anything. And then again, like a Kellen Moore, just shoot right up those coaching ranks and be like, these are the guys that are going to get these jobs.
I think so. I mean, that makes sense.
That was just throwing out there.
I don't think Eric should go to the Ravens. He don't know who his quarterback going to be next year.
It's not going to be Lamar. Fuck.
Yeah, I can see him coming to New England, baby.
No, he's going to Miami. We'll probably franchise. I think we might franchise him and just, tell them to figure it out or something. But yeah. Let's move on. One more coach, D'Amico Ryans, defensive coordinator for San Francisco. He had a couple interviews last year too, because that defense is just so fucking good. He's getting interviews with the Texans job, and I feel like maybe I can't speak to it as much, but if I'm especially, and it sounds kind of crazy, if I'm a black coordinator / head coach, I want nothing to do with Houston. I don't want anything to do with that organization. When whatever coach you're hiring, when they overperform, you fire them after 1 year. That's happened 2 years in a row. David Culley did probably the best head coaching job I've seen in a very long time in the NFL with this awful roster just kind of thrown to fucking together. David Culley won 5 games. Lovie Smith, they tried to make the roster worse for Lovie Smith, still ends up not being the worst team in the league. Bam, fired again. Like, what kind of shit's going on in Houston? Now, someone, I don't know if it was in our group chat, but how much they love him in Houston. He would get praise and stay there as long as like they wanted him to stay. But in a business decision, fuck a bunch of that. What do y'all think?
Go ahead, man.
I mean, I think he would stick around longer just because he's got the fanfare in Houston. It's not like Lovie Smith where he coached in Chicago, coached at Illinois, like he was just in the Midwest for a majority of his career kind of thing. But like he actually played for the Texans, helped mentor J.J. Watt. I feel like he would stick around, and then, he might suck his first season, but then he's got a second season with his hands on the roster where you see like year-to-year changes with head coaches in year 2 compared to year 1. So like coaches always do bad, not always, but normally are pretty bad their first year because they're transitioning from the previous regime to their regime, and then that second year is mostly their guys. It's not like,
and it's usually not a good team because they're firing their head coach.
So
I'm not.
I mean, they just got to give a coach a second season. If Lovie Smith or Culley had a second season, we would not be having this conversation right now.
Yeah, but they should have got the second season. That's what I'm saying, Matt, is like if D'Amico Ryans, if he wins 6 games, are they going to be pissed that they won 6 games because they think that roster is still fucking bad? That defense is still not good. I don't care who you bring in there. You can bring a Belichick in to defensive coordinate them. That's not a good defense. It's not going to work. And the fact
I think the problem this year was their
Go ahead, Matt.
They didn't have any pass rush, but they had a good secondary. Like they had one of the better passing defenses in the league. I wouldn't say they're top 5, but they were like a top 10, top 12 passing defense. They just couldn't get after the quarterback and they couldn't tackle.
Don't sound top 10 to me. Either way, if I'm
not saying total defense, just their passing defense.
If I'm an assistant trying to get my head coaching on, and the Texans is the first job, I'm just gonna stay a coordinator, bro, until I can find a better option. Oh man, excuse me. Cause like I can win. You telling me it's a chance that I win 7, 8 games and I'm still getting the boot, bro? Like, cause 6 games, I win 2 more. Yeah, you just didn't get us to the Super Bowl. I guess that's what they want their coaches to do. Before they get their regime built. So if I'm any coordinator, I'm not touching that Texas job. That's for a head coach that's already established that knows that, if I get fired, somebody around the league gonna call me again. So no, I definitely wouldn't do it.
And I'm with that. I understand that 100%. So let's go. So we kind of touched on race a little bit in that last one. So we have been the show of HBCUs, I think, for probably the good majority of any other show ever. You got your quarterback Marcus Stokes, who lost his Florida scholarship for rapping. And I tried really hard to find the song, and I like, it's a 2-second clip, so I could not for the life of me figure out what song it was, but rapped the N-word with a song, lost his scholarship to the University of Florida to be a Gator, 4-star quarterback out of Florida, and got an offer from Albany State in Georgia from head coach Quinn Gray. And it really shook the HBCU world. It was a very, very big deal. And again, because we talk about HBCUs because we love them and care. Tony, I just want to get your thoughts on what kind of message do you think that sent to not just to Albany State, but to HBCUs as a whole?
I think it sends the wrong one, man. I think they're trying to get, clout moves. I know a lot of people hate Deion for the move. I'm not a fan of it. We weren't fans
Nope.
of the move neither, but along with, we gotta be real about some shit. Deion bought, like, HBCUs have always been hyped to the people in the HBCU community. Well,
Yep.
Deion brought that outside in community looking like, oh, they really have fun down there. And now that he gone, taking that to Colorado, that clout kind of died down. And then you see Bethune Cookman get rid of Ed Reed because he going on rant, letting people know, like, hey, Deion was right. It's not no fun to hear and all this, but we all know that historically states don't fund the HBCUs. They're terribly underfunded. So I feel like yeah, Deion might have been right, but Ed Reed should have known not to go on there and blast it and just be like, oh yeah, the HBCU terrible. I gotta clean up. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Don't
Real
blast
fast,
that
Tony,
publicly.
I just want to say, so our HBCUs, are they state funded? I thought it was because doesn't the United Negro College Fund also have a big thing to do with HBCUs? Or am I wrong on that?
I mean, I think the United Negro College Fund is for PWIs and HBCUs. So, it's reaching into one pot. But I think that HBCUs are state funded, but they get in like the back of the states. Like, look at Mississippi. What two schools in Mississippi you think getting the most funding?
Oh yes, Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Yeah,
exactly. So and then you got to think of schools like Southern Miss. They probably like next on the list. You got to think.
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Then you got the HBCUs, and we got a lot of HBCUs, but they getting the back of the bus, and that's kind of accurate, kind of fucked up. But again, the back of the bus funding, like, hey, yeah, we'll get to you, but not right now, and that's hurting HBCUs, right? So they can't go. You seen Deion say, "Oh yeah, I done been in some of these college locker rooms, seeing them have multi-million-dollar locker rooms, bro." HBCUs can't do that with just locker rooms because they don't get the funding.
Yes.
And they don't got the boosters like the PWIs do to come back and it's like, yeah, they go 2 million because I just want to watch sports, get drunk, and say something crazy at the game. They don't got that. So I think when Deion left, he took that clout away, right? Ed Reed came, he made it hot again with those rants about it, but really ain't help him. And then you got the perfect opportunity.
Do you think those rants hurt HBCUs or like just kind of did they hurt it or did Ed Reed just kind of?
No, it didn't hurt HBCU. Let me tell you something, man. HBCUs, just like black people are resilient, bro. Like they've been underfunded. They know what to do to stay afloat. Jackson State here a few years ago was going through a lot of stuff where they didn't have funding, but they made it through it. Like, so yeah, they underfunded, but they're resilient. So it didn't hurt them. It kind of, if anything, it put on blast that the states ain't funding. The funding is not good for HBCUs. You can't just pull money out your ass if you're not getting it like that. So I think the rants was terrible. I don't like the rants. He looked kind of crazy. To me, I get what he was saying, but you trying to shine a light on something that people in the HBCU community been knowing. Like, hey, we don't get funded, so that's why our facilities look like this. Boom.
Did you see his exit? Did you see his exit interview to the players?
Yeah, I mean the players want him.
Dude, it was sad. Like, dude, there were players crying that he had to go.
Yeah, I mean, cause you gotta look at Bethune Cookman, bro. They definitely sharing helmets, his clips, like, it's trash all in the locker rooms. It's bad. It's bad down there, but like I said, man, you don't blast it like that, I don't think. And you Ed Reed, you can do the same thing Deion was doing. You could bring people in there to get the money. Jackson State built a whole new practicing facility and about to get a new stadium.
Yeah, but Jackson State was able to pay Deion before he showed up. They weren't paying Ed Reed yet. Ed Reed was just there doing the shit.
Yeah, I mean, but Jackson State ain't paid Dion no million, like
No,
all
no,
that.
no,
That
no,
like
no, no. And I'm not. No, no, no. I don't want to sit here and say like Ed Reed was fucking, getting a shitty end of the stick, but he was at the same time because they weren't again like you've been saying, the funding isn't there for Ed to get his pay, but also Ed doesn't need the pay.
so
So I'm with
so
you
this
on the
me this me, Billy. I'm let's just say for the sake of argument, I'm doing this show with you as a retired NFL player. I had a dope career, a
yeah,
dope Ed Reed prime
probably the
time
best
level
safety of all
career.
time. Can we say that?
Yeah, possibly. I'm not going to a HBCU to coach looking for bread. Like I'm not.
Yeah,
So I'm not going there expecting PW. Did a fan come on somewhere?
yeah, Matt. Are you okay with your audio? Hold on, Tony. Let me. Matt, you good with audio?
Can't
Nothing.
hear.
Did your phone die? Tonio's not on mute. I'm not on mute. Did you cut your fan on? Because as soon as your audio,
I can't hear.
hold on, Antonio. I know you're in a rant, and this is my favorite part of the show. Hold on 1 second. But go ahead and finish your point.
So I'm top safety, or top corner, top wide receiver, top quarterback, top whatever,
Yeah,
and I done made millions. I don't like Dion. He wasn't hurting for money. That's why the pay cut didn't work. He didn't come in there blasting them because they couldn't pay him. The thing was, he was just like, hey, we got to get more money in here. Cause like, all right, Ed Reed, I don't know. He first time coaching, he don't got no crew that he bringing in with him like Dion. Uh,
no,
Dion did have a crew, and the crew is a good crew. Like the dude from Trinity, they had been coaching together for 10 years. Like it's
yep,
people that you was trying to get paid, get fed, and all that stuff. So I get that. But Dion then come in blasting like, "Hey, they broke. Facility's not good." He just came in and started fixing on the stuff. I expected Ed Reed to come in there, hey, look at it and be like, "All right, I got some friends. I got some people I can reach out to. I know donors. Let's do this." But instead, he
So
just bashed the school.
so I just want to disagree with you just on one point. I think if they would have taken Ed Reed's videos and taken what Ed Reed was doing, if they would have taken it a different way, and I don't want to say somebody needs to have a different outlook or something, but I think what Ed was doing was bringing, hey man, like this is kind of fucked up. I think is what he was trying to do.
Yeah,
Like
but
this is
you don't gotta
wrong.
you don't gotta double down on that. If Dion let you know that these boys ain't have their names on their jerseys, so we know it's fucked up. We already
Yeah,
know what's going
but
on.
see, Dion just showed us, or Dion just told us. Ed was showing us what the shit looked like,
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
like
but
what it came to.
that's embarrassing. Like you don't, all right, but you say it, but you don't show it because what you want Bethune College to do? What you want them to go pull money that they don't got out their ass? Like what do you?
No,
Because
and I
because
think
because
that's a good
because
point too. But if you
because
look
because
at
we gotta remember one thing. Like football is one aspect of a college. It's
yeah,
still it's still school that goes on. It's still people that's coming there for degrees. So
But
all right, let me dump all my money into this football program. Hey, fuck your lab. You can't be no doctor. Fuck your professors. I can't teach you so that you go out in the real world working in your profession and be good at it. Nah, bro. You
that's a
gotta
better point. Yeah,
you gotta put that money where it's needed first. Football always will be something extra. And for PWIs, it's some of the main things because it bringing the most money. Like I said, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, they probably bringing in close to NFL game money to some of these lower tier teams
yeah,
because of the donors and all of that stuff. The people that come there, the sellouts. And all these rich people that came there. But HBCUs, Jackson State was selling out every game when Dion was there, but it's
yeah,
still other stuff that money has to go towards. You just can't take let's say when college game day came in, all that money didn't just go to the football team,
Right.
and that's what we
As it
looking at it
should
for.
be.
Like
I think
exactly.
Go ahead, Matt.
well, so Ed Reed was talking about how there was just buildings with garbage in it, right? But there's all these different programs colleges have where they do volunteer work or they help the community. Like, I'm not saying people don't care about their college, but it's like if you see a building filled with garbage, like why was that never like a volunteer event? Like, hey, like let's clean up our campus. Like, there's literally garbage in that whole building. Like, I think that's
Yeah,
what Ed Reed was bringing light to. It's like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not just
but
the funding. It's like the people not taking care of their shit.
yeah, Billy.
Like,
I mean, Matt. But those buildings filled with garbage was probably football facilities. It wasn't no classrooms, nothing like that. So it's just like, all right, man. Hey, you the coach. We probably asked this last coach, hey man, get some scheduled to take care of this, and they probably didn't. They was just trying to go down there, win some games. That's hey y'all,
Yeah.
and probably given that, hey man, it ain't always sweet. In this football, we come to get dirty speech instead of like, hey man, let's organize something. Let's during the summer, let's take two of these tour days off and get some people out the community and our football players in here to clean these buildings up. So instead of just doing it that way, the rants just
He
happened.
had to make the rant.
And
I see
now,
what you're saying.
yeah, and now these people out because I feel like he would have brought some in like Dion did, but now that's over with. Um, so that brings me back to Albany State. Let's make it full circle. All right, HBCU's not getting no clout like that. They should be, but they not. All right, I got this white boy that's not said the N word. Athletic director and coach like, oh, we want to get some publicity. Let's say we offered the white guy his only scholarship to come to a historically black college university, and we're gonna teach him the era of his ways while letting him play football, being a starter for uh historically black college university team, doing some of the stuff that we have never seen before, or if we have, it's been far and few between, right? Let's
Yeah.
get this out here. So I think it was a clout move for me because I just don't, you know, I I don't see Albany State just being like, oh yeah, we had him on our recruiting board the whole time. No, you
Yeah.
didn't. No, you didn't. So it ain't like they put him
Once he
on a.
got dropped, I feel like maybe like that could be something like, oh, so he's getting offers from D1, so he gets these offers dropped. So let's put him at an FCS or an HBCU. Let's put him in
Well,
the spot.
I just don't think with him getting dropped, I still don't think nobody was like in the FCS or for HBCUs was like, yeah, this is our number one prospect now. Because nah, I just don't think so. So I think it's a clout move. What you think?
So I don't want to speak out of turn or any of that stuff, but I do think the way society is, and we kind of covered it in the pre-show, but we didn't want to get too deep into it. But again, this show is raw. This is just opinions. This isn't anything like out of turn is what I kind of don't want it to be. But I do think there is some kind of redemption. I do think there is some kind of societal ways where like being from an all-black high school also, I think it's a little different. It's like it's a scary thing going out into the world where like you're used to this little box that you're in, right? Like and everything's cool and everything's fine, and you like this particular guy, Marcus Stokes, gets a quote unquote N-word pass where it's like it's in the locker room. It's funny if you're like rapping to a song like I'll never forget like knowing the song Heavy by Gucci Mane. Like that's what a lot of my like other players like, they thought it was super cool that I knew words to this rap song because I'm just this white kid or whatever. And I think having that little bubble again, should the kid have posted on social media? Absolutely not. But in his own little world, like it was okay. So like going out into the bigger world, and I don't want to make excuses for this kid because he also came out and said this is wrong, this isn't what I wanted to do, da 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 da, all the quote unquote right shit he was supposed to say. But it's kind of not an unfair thing. I'm not saying it's unfair, but it's this weird thing that gets lost in translation as opposed to like where it's okay with him and his like 8 other friends, and then the rest of the world sees it when it's not okay, because it's not. But those 8 people made him feel okay to say those things and do and rap what he did. And it's just like this very weird context where I thought the HBCU in Albany State was taking a chance to be like, look, we're going to teach them like, hey man, this isn't how the world works. This is, you got to think bigger than this small group you have. And I thought it was I just thought it was a very like, I thought it was weird as fuck. Number one, I just thought like, why would an HBCU do that as opposed to maybe, you know, like a primary white institution, like we've been talking, like maybe give him that second chance. But then if he got a chance from a PWI, would the backlash be the same as it was for an HBCU?
No, it wouldn't be.
You don't think so?
Care. Wouldn't nobody care, because they'd be like, oh yeah, we knew it's a PWI. What offense does that cause the PWI? It's a predominantly white institution, but now you got this dude out here spitting the N-word going to a historically black college university, and we know historically the N-word was used to degrade us by white guys, and now you bring the epitome of that in. So I think him going to, that's why the backlash coming to Albany State, because it's like, yeah, what the fuck y'all got going on? You know, looking from my perspective and people that look like me perspective, what the fuck y'all doing? As far as saying like, hey, if that dude would have got an offer from any school in the SEC, would have been like, oh, yep, that makes sense. Boom. He in the SEC in the South where racism still lives, ever apparent. Now, don't get me wrong, the North got its moments, but we talking about football. So the South, you know, like a lot of them fans, them diehard SEC fans, they all not like me. They all not like they all not black dudes that like football. It's some that's just rednecks, hillbillies, and there's some black racist people. I ain't gonna lie to you that are rednecks and hillbillies that I don't fuck with neither.
But you bring up SEC, he lost his scholarship from the University of Florida, which is an SEC school.
Yeah, but he could have went. You lose a scholarship at the University of Florida, he going down to Gainesville and get his shit smattered at, where he can go to the University of Arkansas, or he can go to the University of Kentucky, or he can go to Vanderbilt, you know, or Mizzou, where it's more of us than it is them, bro. You can come down here. Don't get
he probably wasn't smart enough to get into Vandy. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, Vandy pretty smart, bro. So I think if he would have went to a PWI, nobody would have blinked the eye. But now that he went to or it's been offered, because we don't know if he's gonna go, he probably still don't accept it.
No, they the coach Quinn Gray rescinded the scholarship 2 days after he posted on Twitter. They rescinded the scholarship after the backlash.
Exactly. So I feel like you got this white dude.
So let me ask you real fast. Do you not think there could have been any teachable moment for this kid? Because he's a kid. I mean, he's still a kid, dude. Like,
it's definitely,
I don't want to make excuses for this guy. That's not what I'm doing. But like, he is a kid. You don't think there was any room growth for improvement or any of that?
It's always room for growth, forgiveness, all of that. I just don't think. I think, like I said, man, I don't think a HBCU reaching out is them trying to grow you. That's them trying to get publicity. That's it. Like, it's definitely room for growth. I'm all about forgiveness and all of that stuff, because everybody make mistakes. I make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes. I done did some dumbass shit. Like, I want people to forgive me for. So yeah, I believe there's room for growth, but I don't think that Albany State was reaching out for him to help him grow. They were just trying to get publicity. That's just me, though.
I'm with you. What about you, Matt?
He's just playing with his mustache.
I saw that.
Yeah. No. I think he could learn to grow, but I don't think. I mean, I think obviously that would be a great environment if he was able to go there and succeed and kind of learn from his situation, just because the environment it puts him in, right? But I mean, I feel like he can still learn from this and come back.
Put him in an environment to get murdered.
But yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be people there, but like, I feel like if he can go there and he like does well, and not on the football field, I'm saying just like does well there, Like he just learns from it. Like, hey, he's in a different environment from where he was at, where he was using the word. He gets put in a different environment where he's like, he finds out like you can't just say that. Like, it doesn't matter where you're from, but like learns from it. Like productive.
I get it. He go to a history class and teach African American studies. He go to that class. They make him take that class. Boom, he learned why that's bad for us. Yeah, I get that part, but I still think he would have went to Albany State. One of them big D linemen would have came in there. Oh, you the dude that like to say the N word. What's up with it, bro? Say it now. Rap the song. I like to hear you. I don't. I think that would have.
He would have got Mason Rudolph. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, sir. Really bad.
Well, I mean, he would have learned either way, then, right?
So let me ask this question. Because y'all went to college. So y'all have been around, like, you know, more not, I wouldn't say diverse, but more highly educated people than I've been around. Because I've been around nobody except the Navy people, and y'all know how that goes. But if I feel like there should be, because it's really unfair, and I'm only going to speak as a white guy, but it's crazy that, like, you can get a quote unquote pass, right? I'm only quoting it because that's not a real fucking thing. Like, that doesn't exist. That's not a real life terminology. But you get this pass from, let's say you only know 8 black people in the world, right? And I'm going to use you, Tonio, right? So let's say you're my only black friend. I don't know any other black people. You tell me that word is not a bad word, right? Like we just rap songs and we just have a good time, right? Like, when I take that, and again, in today's society, you're absolutely right. Like, people should know better. But if I literally don't know anything but you and the other 4 people that I'm friends with, and it's cool that I'm saying it or rapping it, even, let's say not even saying it, just rapping it with along with whatever rap insert song here. And now I'm on this other stage, or this newer stage where I've moved on in life, to where now I'm around people that aren't cool with it, or that think that is like absolutely awful, which it is. And now it's this like new thing I have to learn of not using XYZ word.
I mean, you ask me, like, is it okay because is it okay because you got the pass and now you learning that ain't a thing? Or
yeah, so would you not?
I really can't speak on that because I ain't never been one of them dudes. I ain't never told you, Billy, hey, bro, you my best friend. You can say the N word. I've never said that.
No. I know. So that's what I'm saying. Let's say, okay, fine. I'll flip it just to kind of. So let's say that I have another best friend, right? Before I met you, and they let me say it, and I'm saying it, and then I say it in front of you.
I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
So you slap the shit out of me. Okay, hold on. So I get slapped, right? So bam, that happens, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Why did I just get slapped? You now explain to me why I just got slapped. Now that I understand it, I'm just like, well, I was able to say it around my best friend. What?
And then I'm gonna ask you to meet your best friend. I'm gonna slap the shit out of him because he confused too. I feel like people gotta black people gotta stop setting white people up sometimes. Sometimes white people get set up. Like, I feel like it, and
you think it's all a trap, like in the grand scheme of things,
it's definitely a trap because black people that set the white people up know that they're not gonna always be around this white person, but this white person that got comfortable using this word, and now he go around some other black people and they like, oh yeah, I bet he getting the shit beat out of him, which happens. So I feel like, I got slap everybody involved in the party, bro. You said slap. You explain to me why you said whoever gave you that pay, I gotta find them, slap them too. And if they mama and daddy taught them that it was okay to do that, well, I'm gonna slap them too. You gotta get to the root of the problems, man. Like, there's no such thing. I'm putting this out now. I'm putting this out on a nationally syndicated show. There's no such thing as an N-word pass.
Nope.
If you're not black, if you're a coon and all of that, don't say the N-word, bro. Like, that's not you. That's not cause DL Hughley, bro, one of my he say a lot of interesting stuff, bro. But he said something. He was like, "Yeah, we took a word that was terrible for y'all. I think Dave Chappelle made it said the same thing. That was terrible from like slavers and slave owners back in the day. And we made it a term of endearment. Now that it's our turn, let it go, bro. Like, um, I'm not a huge Eminem fan, but I've never heard Eminem use the N word to get his point across to make good music. I I respect that. I respect that. I ain't, like I said, I'm not the biggest M fan. I don't think he the rap god by any means, but
Because he's
I ain't
not.
never heard. Yeah,
That's easy.
I've never heard him say the N word, and I respect that. If you got rappers, white rappers out here, Mac Miller never said the N word. Like you got them people out here not saying the N word, and they rest in peace, Mac Miller. Yeah, don't say it, bro. There's no such thing as a pass. I know it's crazy that we own this and it's a sports show, but I feel like I need to let people know. John, it's not a pass. There's no such thing.
Hey, dude. So I was smoking the other day at work, and fucking John drove by, and he was just like, "Hey, go suck a dick." And like, I'm with like 4 other people, dude, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
Hey,
Like, dude, that's John. Don't worry about it. Like,
yeah, it's just John. Goddamn John.
So we do kind of need to wrap this up, but I just this show's bigger than sports. I just want to throw that out there too.
Yeah, definitely.
But I do feel like a lot of society fails a lot of people in black and white, like you're saying, like black people are failing by giving out this pass. White people are failing by not understanding the fucking bigger scope of things. And I'll say it 100 times, dude. Like I've also been failed, and I've also failed myself before like understanding things and understanding how the world works and shit like that, like outside of my own bubble. And that's why I was asking you all these questions about outside the bubble. Like you're go ahead, Tony.
Like I'm saying, bro, I just feel like so that pass shit, it comes from like a bunch of corny dudes that want to see some funny shit. Cause they know they're gonna give you this pass and you're gonna run with it and you're gonna go say it in front of somebody like me or somebody that don't play that shit. Cause there's white people that don't play that shit too. I got white friends that don't play that shit. Like, hey, bro, don't say that word.
Yeah.
Well,
you've seen me with the F word, right? Like whenever the F word's also because I do it for the N and the F word also. Like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you don't need to.
Yeah.
Well, the N word, I'm a little more like, what the fuck? Like, did you just fucking say that? But then the F word, I'm also like, I'll just throw it out there, like, hey, you shouldn't say that, bada bing, and then we're just moving on.
Exactly. So I got friends like that. It's like, hey, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? So I feel like I said, man, people just playing sick jokes with, and I'm not gonna say weak-minded white people, but white people that like black people that wanna be black people friends. Like I think it's the white people that wanna be friends with black people, try to fit in with them, not try to be like them, but just fit in. And then they're like, hey, you can say the N-word, it's cool, bro, we cool, like that. And then they go say the N-word, and they say it in front of them people, and they keep saying it in front of them people. Then those black people
way
start
you
hanging.
think that happens.
I definitely think it happened.
Matt,
I definitely
have you let me ask you as a white guy, have you ever met another white person that wants to be like, how did Tonio say it? Like,
yeah.
Oh no, not black.
I do. But like fit in with the crowd and like talk, act, dress, like everything. Like fit in with like you friend with like you want to be a part of that group, right? Like whatever friend group. So like if you go hang out with a bunch of skateboarders, they wear Vans, skinny jeans, like just like that kind of shit.
Oh, so now I'm gonna take the terminology of black people. I'm gonna take the dress and this.
Yeah.
And see, I think people get like that, and then the black friends take them around. They black friends, and their black friends not with that shit. And now it's like, oh, I'm finna get this white dude killed.
I mean, so there can be things from like the black culture, right? So like I have on chains right now. Like there's things that the black culture that I think is super cool. Like chains, rap music is incredibly awesome. But like I don't think I would need to say the N-word to be.
I'm letting you know that you don't have to say the N-word ever, Billy.
No, I know that. That's what I'm saying, though.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know.
That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, but
you gotta be
I'm not targeting you or Matt. Of course, like
yeah.
I'm gonna put it out there, people that's listening to us. I don't hang with white people that use the N word. These two are white people that don't use the N word. I don't play that shit. Like I'm from Mississippi. I know the history of my state, so I don't hang with that. So I gotta put it out there. Billy and Matt, not racist people. They don't go around saying the N word when I'm
Fireworks
not
go off.
around.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad that's out in the public now.
But I do think it is people out there that hang with white people and it's like, oh yeah, bro, you can say it, you can say it, cool. Is it me around? But then they just get around more black people, and it's like the white people like, oh, well, he said I can say it. I hear this song come on, and the N word right there. I'm gonna just let it slip.
No, you could just not say it. It's easy. I
Yeah,
do
I
it
mean,
all the
you
time. Like
could just
it's
not
so
say it.
easy.
You could just
So,
not say
okay,
it.
hold
That's
on.
my thing.
Real fast before we move on. So, what about actors? Right. So Leonardo DiCaprio says the N word in Django Unchained like 100 billion times. That's cool. Are you cool with that?
Not for real, bro, but I understand that he got a job that he doing. I didn't like that shit, but I did like the fact that Jamie Foxx came forward like Leonardo DiCaprio was scared as shit to say
Yeah.
this, like especially when
Yeah.
I was in the room. So I don't think he just go around saying the N word like, hey man, I got them down the block, or yeah, I'm finna go meet up with my, I don't think he said. I understand that you're acting. And in the movie, that you in, you really can't have a movie about a free slave and a Quentin Tarantino film, and they just go the whole word saying Negro. I know that it just don't
Yeah.
hit the same. So I don't like it. I don't like it because I don't really like movies like that anyway. Django was a good movie, I ain't gonna lie, but I don't like movies like portraying slavery. I know I need to watch stuff like that to
Well,
learn what's going on, but I hate.
you told me to watch it more than anybody I've ever met. Also, by
Yeah,
the way,
because I wanted you to see it because it's a good movie, but I don't
no,
like them. The
I thought it
movie's
was all right.
good.
I didn't think it was that good.
The movie's good, bro. But yeah, don't white people just don't say the N word. That's from your friendly co-host Tonio. Don't say the N word. Save your life. Save your teeth. Save your dignity. Like it's a lot
It's
of shit you
easy
can
to not
say.
say it. I was talking to my buddy at work today, and I was just like, I don't understand white people that are like, well, why can't I say it? Like, you just can't. It's
Not,
easy.
but see,
You just
see,
can't.
and but I'm gonna go back to that dude on that acting show. Say it. You can say
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah,
I say it with you. I
yeah.
say it with you. That's another thing the white people I need to put out to you. You can say it. Hey, say it. I say it with you. Now the consequences that come after you saying that's not my fault no more. That's yours. You felt the need to say it. I said it with you, and then I followed that with a foot in your ass, like Red Foreman. Like, hey, that's what you get. Like,
They respect to
so
Red Foreman. Let me just throw that out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
What a
you can
man.
don't say it, but say it. Please say it boldly and proudly and loudly around black people when you do say it. So you can just probably get your ass whooped, and that'll make everybody's day. Cause you'll learn one way or another. Like, oh, I don't got no teeth in my mouth. I probably should never say this word again.
All right.
What's next on the docket, Billy?
So, we were just about to move on. So we got an ancient human being on the next docket for topics.
Matt's favorite person in college football ever. Matt's great uncle.
Stetson Bennett gets arrested for being drunk in public. And
Did you
in
guys see the
Michigan,
video?
right?
no, it was in Dallas.
Oh,
No, Texas. If he was in Michigan,
No, they would have been like, it's all good. But I don't know why the cop in Dallas arrested him too. You know how many times I've been drunk in well, I probably shouldn't say it. But what's up, Matt?
you didn't see the video then. He
I
was
have
just
not,
getting talked to and he ran away. You didn't see the video? No. So they were just talking to him and he just took off running like he was Pat Mahomes on one leg, just slow as hell. And he got tackled into like a wall right onto his ribs. Like his ribs have to be broken because that fucking officer was a D2 linebacker at least. That dude hit him hard. Watch the video after this. He smacked his ass.
So Stetson's draft stock. So, in all honesty, because he's old as fuck. Like we're not getting away from that. But I thought his draft stock is increasing. Number one, 2-time national champion. That's hard to not draft that guy. Number two, he has this maturity about him where he understands the moment. He understands that he's not the best player on the team. He understands that he needs all kinds of help to fucking win. That public intox, I don't give a fuck. I haven't seen the video. Without seeing the video, I know his draft stock fucking as soon as the news came out. You think he's still getting drafted, Antonio? You think he's going to be the face of the league ever?
Nah. I think he's getting drafted, but I don't know if he's going to be the face of the league. Maybe, system quarterback, he can go to Indianapolis or something like that in the 5th round, 4th round.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. He's still going to get drafted.
He's so old. God. Indianapolis might get him because he's old enough. They're like, has to be older than 26. Got to get him in there.
Yep.
Brandon Weeden.
Brandon Weeden was a 1st-round draft pick. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
God damn.
He was 32 and his rookie contract ended.
But dude, I know we didn't cover NBA, Tonio. We'll do that next episode, but it's getting to the point, in the NFL. College took up a good chunk of our show too. But the NFL, hey, we're having the game. The game of the year. The whole point of the season is happening in the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks and I'm going.
Are you going though, Matt? So you have everything's riding out for you to go.
Last week I had to send in my photos, like a mug shot for my credentials.
Hell yeah! Are you gonna be the guy waving the flag?
I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, but I'm gonna be clanging around my medals.
Hell yeah! You're like 6 that you got because you've been with the CBs.
Blues. Hopefully I can get drunk and just cause a scene.
Hell yeah!
Stay there, but there's like $600 a night. And I'm not about that. So
can you just secretly record it so we can put the footage on the show?
Yeah, can you do that
secretly? I'll just have it out. I'll just have my phone
out. Because we'll make some shorts, dude. Yeah, so definitely. But speaking of that, I have been in talks with Dad Bod Sports, talking to Scotty and all of them. We're looking to get some sponsorships. We'll see how it goes. But we do need to kind of do some more content. So shout out to the fans that are listening all the way to the end. Really appreciate y'all. We're not scared to talk about anything outside the realm of sports, any type of social issues, any type of shit that's going on. None of us are scared to say our opinions or what we think is going on in the world. But we appreciate y'all listening. Tony, you got anything to say to the peeps?
Nah, man. Y'all know. Thank y'all for listening.
Yep.
Shout out to No Show Aaron.
Oh, No Show Aaron. Damn, that's good.
No Show Aaron. And I just passed to Matt, man.
Baseball's in like 85 days, so that's all I really got to look forward to.
So that means spring training's in like 50 days?
Spring training starts like end of February, early March. So, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hell yeah, dude. We'll see you guys next week, man. Next week, Wednesday, it'll be episode 49, man. We appreciate y'all listening. Thanks.